Well, the day is finally here. I finally got my 16 ohm Eminence DV77 speaker. So what I have here is my Zilla 212 cab, and when I ordered that cab, I ordered a red back on one side and a Vintage 30 on the other. And to be honest with you, I love the cab. I think it's built well and it looks awesome. I like the Vintage 30 in there, but I did not get along with the redback very well. And I wanted to get a different speaker, and I almost bought another Vintage 30, but I kept hearing all this stuff about the Eminence DV77. So when the 16 ohm version became available, I ordered it right away, and so here we are. So what you're going to experience today is my first time actually hearing this speaker. I'm going to do a couple of tests. I'm going to listen to it first the same way you guys are hearing it through my Audix i5 mic. The reason why I chose that mic is it's pretty flat, so it's going to represent the speaker very well. And as far as placement goes, I have it right on the crease, you know, the sweet spot that everybody knows about. And I'm also going to listen to it in the room. I'm going to take my in-ears out and tell you what I'm experiencing here in the room. And I'm also going to let you hear how this speaker sounds in a full mix. And I'm going to be using the blue channel on my EVH 100 watt Stealth. All right, well, I'm excited, and I'm sure you are too. So let's go ahead and get started with the riffs. Man, that sounds freaking awesome. I really love the top end of it. It's got this really thick, gritty top end, but it's not too sharp. It seems like it's got a little bit of polish on the top end there, and the articulation and clarity is definitely there in spades, and it sounds really thick and beefy, and it's got just the right amount of aggression in it. I can't wait to see how this compares to my Vintage 30 that's on the other side of this cab with the same microphone. Don't worry, I will do that in this video. I'm really blown away. I'm stoked. I'll tell you, this sounds way better than when I had the redback in it. To me, it just sounds, this is what I was looking for. This is exactly the sound I had in mind when I ordered this cab. I really like this speaker a lot. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the in-ears out so I can listen to it in the room and see what it sounds like, and I'll tell you what I'm experiencing there, because now I'm going to hear both speakers, the Vintage 30 and the DV77, at the same time. That is a shockingly good blend of speakers. I really like how the Vintage 30 and the DV77 sound together. They really sound great. You got that really aggressive top end on the Vintage 30, and then that smoothness and that little bit of polish on the DV77. and the thickness of both of them together is just ridiculous. I mean, there's so many frequencies that they're kind of filling in for each other, and I really think it's a great blend. All right, so before we compare the speakers, let's go ahead and hear what the DV77 sounds in a full mix. That sounded phenomenal. It's really chunky and thick, and it still had great attack on the top end. But I know I keep sounding like a broken record here, but there's this really nice smoothness on the top end, and it's letting through just enough aggression so that it doesn't hurt your ears or it's too spiky. It's just this really nice top end. It's got a little bit of gristle and thickness to it in a good way. Like it's really good and aggressive, without being too bright, you know. So I really am digging this speaker big time. So let's go ahead and put the same microphone in the sweet spot on the Vintage 30, and let's see what that sounds like. And after that, I'll mic both speakers for you and play some riffs so that you can hear how they sound together. That sounds really good. Also, a little more top end in the Vintage 30. It's a little more aggressive in the top end. I still like it a lot. It's one of my favorite speakers. So far, I'm thinking that if you want something a little smoother, then you'd want to go with the DV77. If you want that spike in the top end, then you want to go with the Vintage 30. Personally, I think you should blend them. I really do. This has been a really good experiment so far, because in the room, it is just freaking ridiculous how good these speakers sound together. All right, let's hear the Vintage 30 in a mix with the Audix i5 mic. I thought that sounded really good as well. That was freaking awesome. I mean, the Vintage 30 is a classic. There's a reason why it stood the test of time. It's just a great speaker. I have to say, I really enjoy both of these. There's a lot of similarities between them, but I'm really digging what the DV77 is doing on its own and adding to the combination of speakers right now. I just think it sounds incredible. So let's hear what they sound like together. I'm going to have the Sennheiser 421 on the sweet spot on the Vintage 30, and I'm going to bring the Audix i5 back to the DV77 and put it on the sweet spot there, and we're going to go ahead and hear what these sound like together. That sounds phenomenal. I can't believe how good this combination is. I was actually thinking about getting two of them and putting them in the Zilla cab, but I have to be honest, I'm really liking this combination here between the Vintage 30 and the DV77. So if you have a cab with vintage 30s in it, whether it's a 4x12 or a 212, you might want to trade one or two of those for a DV77 and check that combination out, because it really does sound amazing. They really do balance each other out really well, and it really is the best of both worlds in this cab. This cab, like I said earlier, has never sounded better. It sounds great in the room, and it sounds great when it's mic'd up. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really appreciate you watching. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys very much. I wouldn't have a channel without you. Well, keep your eye on the channel, because I got a lot of great stuff coming up. And I'll see you on the next one.